Oh, I went in a loaded,
Same.
honey.
Same.
Honey, that's why I was like, today I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of fucking talking. And with that said, hi everyone. So happy to be in your cars, in your homes, in your ears, on your minds, taking up my 14th studio apartment in your head. Welcome to Paranormal Misfits podcast.
Yes, this podcast is part of the You Run Podcast Network, where you can find all sorts of fun and exciting podcasts just like ours. You can check them out in the show notes and also at yourunpodcast.com. With that being said, this is Paranormal Misfits podcast, where the curious roam, the weird feels at home, and horror is just another day in the office. I am one half of this dazzling duo, Chrissy.
Ooh, dazzling today? I like that. That's a good
Dazzling.
word. I am the other quadrant plus another quadrant, because if you take two quarters, they make a half.
There you go.
Hey everyone, my name's Nino Daniel, and I like spooky stuff. Haven't said that one in a while. Haven't said that one in a while at all. Sorry, I just adjusted my mic and now it sounds better. Also, this mic and I, we fight.
Oh yeah.
We argue.
You argue, you hit each other.
Can I tell you? Can I just shout out a really funny video that I saw the other day on TikTok? There was a guy who was getting married, and he was the groom, and he's standing up at the like sweetheart table with his wife, and he's like, "Hey, I just got a note from the AV team. They were getting a couple of things ready. Can everyone who's here that's named Michael, can you guys stand up real quick? Like, we need to just check on the Michaels." And he's like, "Okay, 1, 2, 3, perfect. All right, we've got the mic check complete. We can go back to normal." I was like, that's funny.
That is funny.
Funny fucking joke. I want to ask you, when you, like, what's your favorite dipping sauce?
Ooh, depends, but my go-to
diaper.
It depends on where I'm at, because some people's ranch is not made the same, but Wingstop's ranch, love some Wingstop ranch.
I love that. It's funny that you mentioned ranch. Excellent segue. Almost as if I taught you myself.
We've only been doing this for like a year.
I know. I was gonna say it's only our second season. Ha ha ha! Which is not a pun on Wingstop, because they season their chicken. Thank God.
Oh yes, they do.
Sometimes I just feel like looking into this mic, and I'm like, how could it be so? It came without gifts. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes of bags. So on this episode, we're gonna go ahead and control our ADHD. We're gonna talk about a lovely space, a wonderful location. This episode is cleverly titled Dr. Phil You Up on Ranch for a reason. So, I don't know what that was.
That was one of my kids' rooms. It's probably the cat being honestly, a demon.
I'm surprised like my cat hasn't made a cameo in one of the episodes with how loud he fucking meows. Anyways, I have like a branch in my eye that I'm going to work on getting out while I like say these next things.
Go ahead.
But have you heard of Turnabout Ranch?
So, oddly enough, no. Because Dr. Phil gave me the icks. So anytime I saw him, I was like, no, thank you.
Dr. Phil gives me everything but hope.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil. I love, if you remember the show notes, how I end this episode. The line that I put in the very end. Iconic.
There you go.
So, Turnabout Ranch. Yes, it's known, but made mostly famous by a wonderful woman who is now literally defending herself in a rap beef with Alabama Barker, named Danielle Bregoli, aka Bad Baby. But if y'all bitches know how to pronounce, it's not pronounced Bad Baby, it's Bad Baby. Like the hoodlum, relaxed way to fucking say her name. Get it right, bitch. So she is primarily known as the Catch Me Outside girl. Catch Me Outside. She was a teen guest star on Dr. Phil's show back in September of 2016. She had then made fun of the audience when she was like, these hoes is laughing like something funny. Cash me outside. How about that? Remember that? I do.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pivotal point for me. That was like my awakening. I was like, yeah. Yeah. She also stood up to her mother and nearly her mom almost caught a fade. Like she's like, oh, you want to? I'm like, damn, this bitch serious on national television. But then her mom's like, she's all bark, no bite, and now she's actually fighting with a barker.
Oh my
So
God.
she came back to the show, to Dr. Phil in February of 2017. I'm saying these dates because they're important.
Okay.
So September of 2016 was the first appearance. February of 2017 was the second, approximately 5 months, right?
Right.
During this time, she went to a place called Turnabout Ranch. This is where Dr. Phil sent her. And this is a space, Turnabout Ranch, that is notorious for being a space where a bunch of troubled teens, quote unquote,
Okay.
from the Dr. Phil show gets sent. And I'm like, it's almost like you are doing a pipeline. It's almost like you're sending people through, let's just call it, you're avoiding traffic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly.
Alleged.
So during this time, she was sent to Turnabout Ranch, and Turnabout Ranch is a teen residential facility located in Utah, and seems to be, yeah, like I said, a reoccurring spot that Dr. Phil sends his teens to. Hannah Archuleta is another victim of the experience we're going to get into now.
Okay.
So Danielle was sent to the ranch. This is all from interviews I've seen online and things that she's reported. Danielle Bregoli was sent to Turnabout Ranch at random in the middle of the night by handlers, who were allegedly ordered not to say a word about what they were doing and where they are taking her or any of the teens in that cohort, allegedly.
Oh, wow.
Danielle described it as like basic kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is this: if I'm being taken somewhere in the middle of the fucking night, Liam Neeson is who I'm dialing first. Immediately.
And then.
God. For like God's like, no, I'm back up. Just like,
Yeah.
Ouija board text me later. Like I got like get Liam, and then Ouija board text me later. I was like, you got it. All I know is this: the God-fearing hood rat in me. If I were to find out who the fuck did this shit to me in the middle of the night, sending me to a fucking ranch, and y'all were like, we're not gonna tell you where you're going, but you just put this bag over your head and get in this van. Do you know how many movies I've seen? We have my birth on tape. It's pretty scary. Okay. So, we'll get into like the horrendousness of everything.
Okay.
But I had to say that part. Like, me personally, I would have a fucking conniption. Hypothetically, Chrissy, if you were basically adult napped in the middle of the night, how would you react?
I would not react very positively, that's for sure. It's going
One
to
thing
be
about-
banshee screaming,
Oh,
legs flying, hands flying.
like,
I ain't going down.
Y'all?
No.
Not
at all.
The only way that I would literally be arrested in this situation is cardiac arrest if my heart gave out and failed.
Was this, because this almost sounds like Paris Hilton's experience.
We get into that. Funny that you bring these up.
Okay.
We get into that.
All right.
Paris Hilton's experience, we're gonna lightly touch on this because for today, for this week, I really just want to focus on some of the research I've done on Turnabout Ranch.
Right.
But you can't talk about like these troubled teen facilities without talking about what Paris Hilton went through. And that kind of, we loosely touch on that because Paris is a huge catalyst for a lot of what's come forth. So Danielle gets to Turnabout Ranch, and she described it as pretty much like hell, like teen torture. Remember that name though, teen torture. She says she witnesses kids being forcefully restrained, which is evidently illegal to touch a minor without their adult parent or caretaker present. I don't know what types of forms that the parents of these minors sign, but I couldn't get a hold of this information, but to waive parental rights for however long the patients are there, the kids are there, like whatever the time duration is, that's fucking, like, I would never as a parent in my right mind be like, oh, I'm gonna sign over. No, we don't do that. Let's see. So bad behavior at Turnabout Ranch was rewarded by the removal of food, comfortable sleeping options, accessibility to warmth. And again, she was there from the fall of 2016 to early spring of 2017 in Utah.
Oh, God.
In Utah.
Yeah.
So it is cold in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I only know about Utah's weather because proximity to Arizona.
Right.
Which, by the way, shit like this, I don't think it would fly in Arizona. I think we would like just cause an uproar. Also, they make a very distinguished note that there are no cameras on the property. So it's easy for staff to get away with doing certain things because no evidence.
Right.
Love that for me. I would literally, I would, honest to God, the way a plastic knife would meet a staff member's neck if they ever fucking tried me, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's. Oh. So Danielle shares that there was so much negligence, there was a death, and Hannah Archuleta reports to have been sexually assaulted by a staff member in 2019. The lawsuit was set in motion in 2024 when Hannah was 17 at the time, and it turned out to be dismissed, and Dr. Phil and CBS sought fees to be paid out to them for possible defamation of character, allegedly.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. While you're listening to this section of the podcast, feel free to click the show notes. Purchase the merch if you're able to, but you know what else you can do that's free 99? Again, free 99 support includes following Paranormal Misfits podcast and Nino Daniel on all socials, giving us 5-star reviews, leaving us a comment of what you liked, all of these good things. Literally, it's free, and it actually helps so much. So go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I might send you to Turnabout. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding.
La Llorona will be first before it goes to that
La
ranch.
Llorona would defend the kids. Like if anyone were to be sent to Turnabout Ranch now, La Llorona would be like, not in my house. Or I don't know why she has a Russian accent, but yeah. So Turnabout Ranch is intended to be a 100-day program treatment program, sorry, at the tiny, minuscule baseline cost of $40,000 USD per participant, no insurance.
The fuck? The fuck?
That's a wedding.
Hold on.
That's a nice wedding.
That is a nice wedding.
That's a nice wedding.
And a really good, like, if you don't want the wedding, that's a really good honeymoon trip.
That's a down payment on a fucking house.
No kidding.
That's a car.
So let me get this straight. Okay.
Let me get this gay with you, yeah.
All right. So this is Dr. Phil's thing, right? And
well, it's
how
his
these
thing
kids
to send it there. Sorry, I want to specify. It's his thing to send them there. I don't know if he has any affiliations.
Well, he has to if he's sending
we'll get
people
into
on his show.
He does. Maybe they have a cut. But say your question. I'm so sorry. I'm interrupting you. How are you?
Okay, so let me get this straight. I bring my troubled teen for help to somebody who doesn't really even have a good medical degree in any way, shape, or form. He just has a doctorate degree in bullshit. Okay. So he suggests that I send my child here. Why do I have to pay? Oh my God. Okay.
So I don't know, with the teens that go in through the Dr. Phil show, I don't know if CBS and Dr. Phil cover the cost in hopes that like the teen comes back and is like, thank you, Dr. Phil, you changed my life.
Does that ever happen?
No, bitch.
Okay, I just want to
What's
make sure.
up?
Because, I mean, like, we have Hannah who
Hannah Archuleta, which we'll get into.
filed a lawsuit. And the thing is he's affiliated. Like, if
Mhm.
you're recommending me to go there, you are affiliated. That's like when doctors prescribe you medication, it's
Mhm.
because the rep has came in and offered them a cut.
A cut. And they said, like, if you prescribe Juvederm, we'll give you 10%.
And isn't Dr. Phil's incorporated with Oprah, correct? Okay. All
Allegedly.
right. Okay.
So,
Oh, poor Cookie in the
uh,
background's like, she's gonna have a conniption soon.
she's literally killing. She's like, I can't
I
believe what
can't
I'm
do this
hearing.
fucking shit.
Damn it. Listen. So, Danielle reports to have stayed well over the 100-day amount.
I'm sure she did.
I think it was somewhere in the home of like 150, 180. Because remember, I think she went to Turnabout slightly after the Dr. Phil show. Let's maybe call it October. If
Okay.
she came back in February, that gives us October, November, December, January, potentially. So that's what? Give and take 125 to 130 days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the exact number. It's somewhere online that Danielle Bregoli says like she stayed for a certain amount of time.
Right.
Um, and it's just crazy. I remember like that episode when she came back.
Oh, she was pissed.
There was no audience.
Right.
There was her counselor that was there, her mom, and Danielle was like, "I made you what you are." And you know what? To be honest, a lot of people started getting the like. I think she turned people to Dr. Phil in the way that he never expected to be looked at.
Mm-hmm.
And then what she had come out in, I think like 2020 or 2021. I'll get to that in a second in the other half. That has to do with like the Paris Hilton thing.
Right.
But this woman, and I say woman because she's a
Mm-hmm.
mother raising a kid postpartum fighting cancer.
Yes.
Like, what an incredible woman Danielle Bregoli is.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. You know, I would catch her outside to get her autograph.
Yeah.
Like,
That's as close as I'll
that's as
ever catch
close.
her
I'm
outside.
listening. That's one person I'm not fucking with.
No.
And I think everyone in the industry knows, like, she fights in real life.
She pulls up when you're still
Real
on your
life.
live.
Okay. Listen, Arkansas Barker better watch out.
I know.
Okay.
All right.
So Danielle reports to have stayed well over that amount. Well, okay. Then we get into this Paris Hilton thing.
Mm-hmm.
Paris Hilton then launched a hashtag breaking code silence, sharing her experience of being locked away at a facility. The video that shares this this information has an animation sequence in the video
Right.
that is like legitimately, I will never get it out of my brain. She talks about it so detailed, and like the way they like did the animation work. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
damn. And the thing is, I was like, Kathy fucking Hilton's your mom and she sent you here, Paris. So what the fuck? So it's literally the most harrowing animated description of Paris Hilton's story. Like, I cannot get it out of my brain.
Yeah.
Once the word from Paris got out about breaking code silence, Danielle then spoke up, and Hannah did too. While getting into the early 2020s, more details have come out about these experiences, and a lot of like the news is reporting how Dr. Phil and CBS won the lawsuit against Hannah per its dismissal. But what about what they do to the people at Turnabout Ranch? So we've like done this whole like little overview, right? We've gone over this whole like, here's what Turnabout Ranch is,
Mm-hmm.
here's all of this, here's who's involved. I want to specify, this is not an episode cleverly titled about Dr. Phil, because he is like all of these fucking scheming, lying, bitch ass fucking Hollywood elites who do dangerous, lethal, deadly shit to themselves, their families,
Mm-hmm.
and children are disgusting.
Yeah.
And if you have a disagreement with that, catch me outside. Okay? What Danielle and like the thing is, like, I will always trust a girl who has a tattoo at 13 years old and who's like just constantly fighting. I'm like, baby, I know you're hurt. Growing up the way you did, I know you're hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And this is again coming. The two people in this podcast that are talking about this are two people who have adequate training in social work and behavioral health, degrees in it. So again, this is not a CBS episode. This is not a Dr. Phil. Let's talk about all the shit he's. This isn't even, dare I say, this isn't a Danielle Bregoli episode or Hannah Archuleta episode specifically. This is just a let's take their experiences, give some context. But so far,
this is something that is truth turned into a conspiracy because the elite have hidden it. And
so think about when I was researching this stuff, when I was like Turnabout Ranch and all of the only things popping up online that I had to go to like on Google. I'm like, anytime I go to anything past like page 3, I'm
oh
like,
my
what
God,
the
yeah.
fuck? So I kept like doing my digging. I did find a site, and I'll cite my source in the second half of this, but it's just insane that there is a person who is almost like the Caucasian version of Diddy, right? So so apparently benevolent, so like absolutely like welcome to my show, and we totally understand, you know, the things that are just happening are just so vile, and just, you know, we got to help you. So you detach a 13-year-old girl from her mother, who is in Florida at the time that she's in Utah for over 120 days. And she experiences this stuff, and more information comes out, and all of a sudden people are lying. Okay. Any thoughts? Anything before we catch a little ad break?
I can't stand Dr. fucking Phil.
Can't fucking stand Dr. Phil at the fuck all. Ugly bitch.
Ugly bitch. God.
Like, you know what though? Big shout out to Danielle Bregoli. Big shout out to Bad Baby. Okay, and in case y'all are wondering, those are the same person. So, because sometimes people will be like, oh my God, I love Donald Glover and Childish Gambino, babe.
Same person, guys.
Like, what's I love, like, what is it, Brian Gene Hernandez, and I love Bruno Mars or whatever. It's like whatever, Gene Hernandez, and yeah, or like I love Stephanie Germanotta and I love Lady Gaga. Same person.
Same.
I love Norma Jean Baker and I love Marilyn Monroe. Same person. Like, so we got it.
Same person.
Right? Yeah, we are gonna take a little bit of an ad break in just a second. But this is something to think about. The second half of this episode, I just want to forewarn our audience. The second half of this episode, some information that is available through the internet, through some heavy researching, is going to come out. And we just urge people to listen to this piece of information with, how do I say this? Just open mind, but with like a directness. And if you're experienced, by the way, this is what I wanted to mention. Sorry, I didn't put this in the show notes. By no means am I telling a parent how to be a parent to their child. By no means am I telling a child how to grow up in the world. If you are anyone at any age experiencing troubledness or worry or anxiety in your home or anything like that, just coming from social work, if you Google your state and then 211, a bunch of resources come up. A bunch. 211 is like a social services like search engine thing.
Resource. Really like a resource center.
It's like a resource center. So your state plus 211, literally Arizona space 211. A whole bunch of different things come up, a whole bunch of different resources, people, places, things, numbers, opportunities come up. So Google your state and then the numbers 211 if you're experiencing any types of trouble. We are going to take a quick ad break and come back. Be sure to listen to the ad, purchase the merch. If you have the ability to, make sure to leave us 5 stars, follow, subscribe, all the good things. We will be right back.
Hey, spooky friends. We want to spotlight another awesome podcast. through the You Run Podcast Network, the Dewey Pod Monster Podcast. It's all about consumption that parties for your right to fight. They cover all kinds of subjects like beer, movies, music, and more. With them, nothing is off limits. Episodes come out every Tuesday morning, and you can catch on them on Spotify and Apple. Yay!
And we're back. That's crazy. For you guys, like a couple minutes. For us, 7 seconds with our tongues out. What?
I know. Okay. So
getting into the second half of this is where I was like, oh, fuck, when I was doing the research on this. I want to specify that the next piece of information is sourced from helpingsurvivors.org. A big shout out to helpingsurvivors.org for being the credentials to me finding this information out. Also, the stuff I found out about Danielle Bregoli was sourced through Variety magazine, and then a couple of like YouTube videos as well. So, more about Turnabout Ranch. Turnabout Ranch is a working cattle ranch with a teen residence program for troubled teens. It began in 1989, and so did the allegations of abuse. Oh my God. There is even a documentary out called Teen Torture Inc. And it's on HBO Max, or Max, whatever you want to call it, highlighting some of these allegations. Turnabout Ranch is intended to be a faith-based space for people, but has since removed its very much Bible-thumping ways. However, it is alleged that religion is very much an influence to the entire treatment program. The reports prior to this segment about someone getting killed were from a participant of Turnabout Ranch in 2016 who was locked up in what was called like a stone room. And tell me you're not biblical without lying to my face. A stone room,
right?
And that's, please don't be disrespectful to God. Please do not disrespect Jesus. Like, I mean that, and I mean that wholeheartedly with everything in my chest. There's no joke behind what I'm saying when I say do not disrespect God. Period. One thing about Christy and I, or like she and I, listen, we are two besties doing this. We have different lives we've lived, different opinions we shared, but like, don't fuck with God. Period. Okay? The kid that was in there, he was locked up for a week. He went allegedly crazy.
Because he's in isolation.
Because he is in isolation. And I don't know, there was no reports that said like he was fed, he was this, but I was like, okay, look at like, let's just take a step back. Look at the chemical compositions of stone. Depending on the weather, which if it was during this time, it's going to be cold. Stones either retain the cold or retain the heat depending on their environment.
Yes.
Like if stones are exposed to heat on one side, they're going to cool on the other side that's more to the ground. Which is also kind of why we turn over our pillows from time to time to stay cool. The reason why I bring that up is like weather can play a big part in your mood. Why do you think everyone in Arizona over the summer is pissed? Like if you breathe wrong between June and mid-September, you're catching a fade, and I'm not talking to your barber. I'm so serious. Like, fucking drive. Stop being a cunt.
Right.
Drive your car. Why the fuck is there traffic? Just keep driving.
Just keep moving, guys.
So invested? Why are you so
flowing?
invested about like what the fuck is going on the freeway with like police officers and ambulances, whatever the plural form is? Like, just keep driving. You're also, if you slow down traffic and another accident causes, you're an accomplice.
Oh yeah.
The fuck? Know your rights. Know your laws, bitch. Anyways. So yeah, he went crazy.
Okay.
He beat one staff member and killed another, and then attempted to flee away in a stolen car. I am not by any means a mathematician. Okay. I'm not. I'm really, really not. I'm more of like a comedian, content creator, husband, cousin, hood rat.
Hood rat.
But this does not add up to helping teens.
No. And my other question to this is, did she go into detail? Because, like, how, not that I should be asking this question, but how did
Sure.
he pass away? In the
Who?
car, in like a car accident because he stole a car?
No, 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 no. He beat someone to death.
Yeah. Oh,
The
okay.
teen,
Okay.
like, beat someone to
I
death.
thought earlier it was saying that like she saw the death of another teen in the
She saw,
facility.
no. So there was
Okay.
an interview where she did, and she kind of talked about like being in like the kitchen, and she was like doing the
Mhm.
dishes with some of the girls. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, this person just got killed. Like a staff member just got killed. And mind you, if it's a working cattle ranch, like dare I say, you know what cattle ranches have? They
Oh
have
yeah.
chains, they have axes, they have
They have
many different.
everything.
It's a working cattle ranch. Hello? Like there are like on, so you're telling me if I'm picturing this probably incorrectly, and then maybe that's to my own like ignorance, but on one end we're herding cattle, we're doing the farmy farm things, and on the
Mhm.
other end we're like quote unquote helping teens.
I don't see how that works.
I don't see where's the correlation,
I don't either.
Peter.
It sounds like
um
labor, like a labor camp.
oh, so hey, there was a book called Holes that
Yep.
literally so they Stanley Yelnats the fuck out of these kids, and then they charge the parents 40 to 60K. I'll get into that in a
Oh
second.
my god.
Okay. In Turnabout Ranch, the allegations list is probably as long as Santa's naughty one. Dead serious.
All right.
It is alleged that attendees of Turnabout Ranch, the troubled teens who are part of the program that also identify as members of the LGBTQIA plus community, were subject to harassment and homophobic slurs.
I was wondering if it was one of those, if it started out as like a, because you said it was so religious, it was faith based. If
Mm-hmm.
it had
In the
tendencies of,
start,
if it had tendencies of conversion and all of that. So okay,
bitch.
that
The only
totally
thing,
answered
the
my
only
question
thing
now.
you gonna convert me is from somebody who is awake to asleep when the sun sets. Like
Right.
that's about it. That's my only conversion therapy is that. And then they also had mentioned there was a like sleep deprivation thing that they did of up to an alleged 72 hours. Bad Baby mentions this when like you first come in, like they put you on this like cold floor, they give you like sleeping bags, and then they like wake you up every 2 hours or something like that. So you're like not sleeping for like 72 hours. And like apparently I think the psychology behind that is like it just fucking makes your brain tired. So like it like lowers your fight or flight response. If I'm exhausted
Oh, I'm fighting even more.
and you try shit with me, yeah, if I'm exhausted and you try shit with me,
Right?
are you hungry, bitch? I got a knuckle sandwich, ho.
I'm just,
Hmm?
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
damn right. Damn right. So, sleep deprivation for up to an alleged 72 hours, forced physical labor, even in evident signs of lethargy and pain.
Well, yeah, because I'm sure they're, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Stanley fucking Yelnats much? Well, he found the lipstick. Get him 2 shower tokens and a snack.
Oh my god.
Shut the fuck up. We saw what Shia LaBeouf went through. Rest in peace, Eartha Kitt. Lack of hygienic means, including limited or no access to showers, clean clothes, and male female hygiene care products. This is literally like, I don't want to say the S word that also ends with lavery,
Yeah.
but like
I am
forced labor.
this is so screaming just, yeah. This is
How you got me fucked up.
the thing. Okay.
Say it.
So these, I would, first off, if I have to pay $40,000 fucking dollars, not only am I touring the facility, I want to see it in its action.
I'm
And
visiting that kid.
I'm gonna be asking, like,
I'm gonna be calling.
yeah, this isn't like how.
Listen, my name might as well be Farrell because I will be calling in. Okay.
And then Phil. Oh my God. You know what? Never mind. Just.
So there were
Okay.
also, the list continues, by the way, we're not even done. There were threats of physical violence, suffocation, and restraints, allegedly. Animal abuse, neglect, and sexual harassment by staff members and other participants of the program.
Well, yeah, because you're in
allegedly.
like the 9th layer of hell. It's like a free for all.
All I know is like this would make me a tougher person. This wouldn't make
Oh
me
my God.
listen. This would make me a better person in the sense that it would make me a tougher person.
Shit.
And I'm already like, mind you, like I look and talk the way I look and talk, but I really truly am that bitch. Like I really truly fight. I really truly stay strapped. I have a knife on me. All this shit. I look cute, cuddly, and like I praise God and all that stuff. But I know what demons look like. I know what that shit looks like in real, and you will be damned if you think you will have dominion over me simply because there's no cameras around. Ho, God's watching it all.
Oh my God.
Like the way I would have put barbershops out of business, everybody would have caught a fade. And now now everybody listening is gonna know that this is literally the actual sound of my voice. I'm so mad. So just in case y'all are wondering, this is literally what I sound like. Damn it, it fucking made its way out. Like my little southern twangy little
Oh, fabulous.
It's here. It's not moving. So
Okay.
I don't know why I try to suppress, like this is literally where my voice is like the most comfortable. And I'm like, I think comfort tells me that this is the most like natural state of my voice.
Right.
I like what my voice sounds like and I like my little southern twang. Leave me alone. Okay. Where I'm so sorry. Oh my
We're at
God. I wrote this line in the notes. I said the way I would have been tired from swinging at anyone who tried. Listen, my name is not Attempt. Do not try me. Okay?
No.
Like for real. History must rhyme because see, notice the change immediately. History must rhyme because the first alleged report of neglect and abuse came in 1994, 5 years after the opening of Turnabout Ranch. Baby.
Oh my God.
Your business is barely a toddler who's able to walk.
Right.
The alleged thing that happened in 1994 was where 3 teenage boys beat 2 employees and all 3 fled in one vehicle. Later found, pled guilty, but no one is examining the why.
Because
why
it's
why
troubled
do they
teens.
do this? Right, but like there has to be.
I agree.
Like,
there's always a why, usually. There has to be some sort of why.
Do you think a troubled person wakes up and is a troubled person? No, it's based off of what they're exposed to and how they're treated. Look at the Halloween movies.
Yeah. I mean, look at any horror movies.
Serious. Like, no, look at the horror movies. How Billy Stu, what? Which, by the way, there's a rumor that Billy and Stu. Oh my gosh. Matthew Lillard and
I saw David
Skeet Ulrich
Oh.
are joining forces in Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Really?
Allegedly. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
All right, back to our.
So yeah, I'm so sorry because like, girl, this whole thing is so fucked up. Like, even in my time as a social worker, which I'm about to get into in a split second, like, we always ask like the why. There has to be like it. Listen, kids.
How did you get
troubled.
here?
How did you get here?
Yeah. No, we ask. I mean, when we handle phone calls to set up referrals and stuff, we are asking, how did you get here? Why are you reaching out for this particular need?
And I wish, like, even in my job now, which we won't say, just in case anyone's like, even in my like day job now, which neither of us will say our day jobs.
No.
We are always asked to dig deeper.
Yep.
And like we can figure out rather quickly like how troubled teens got to Turnabout Ranch. Thanks, Dr. Phil. For absolutely fucking nothing, you can't. Why is the teen troubled? What were they like, let's really do our job. Like, this is literally an episode where I'm like, this is a screaming cry for anyone who is experiencing this or anyone who's witnessing this. Ask the why.
I want to put it out there because I did a quick Google search on our ad break. Dr. Phil stopped renewing his clinical license degree in 2006.
So then he's not a doctor. In order to, it's one thing to have your wait, I'm so sorry. Say that again.
He never renewed, right? He stopped renewing his psychology in 2006.
So his licensure he stopped renewing.
Yes.
11 years after the first fucking thing at Turnabout. Okay, cool. And then he's been sending teens there?
Yeah, because you're saying 10 years later, even though he's not renewing anything, he sends troubled teens to a place he deems to be helpful.
On a show, literally
exploiting people.
A doctor.
Yeah.
Is the show still on?
I don't think so. I thought that got canned the same way they canned Dr. Oz, because there was like a lot that they weren't. Well, people were finding out.
Well, same thing with Ellen and why Ellen went off the air.
Let's see.
Once you figure out like what Ellen DeGeneres is involved in, good luck getting out of that rabbit hole. That shit's fucking. That's a fucking deep dive on another day. Anywho, so this is okay. Before we get into like the wrap up of everything, this is literally just my all call to like urge people to ask the why in certain people's behaviors. Like, I know a lot of times on this episode we talk about like the creepy, the kooky, the spooky, the whatever, but this is creepy. This is disgusting what they're doing. No cameras, no evidentiary support, and you got teens who are like, please fucking help us. We're getting like beaten, choked, gagged, food deprived, sleep deprived, sexually assaulted, and we're about to get into the sexual assault piece in just a fucking second.
Let's go back to it. Let's go back to it though. You're saying that when it was first started, like people were alleging that like they were sending their children who were
troubled,
identifying
as but
not as troubled though, but as either gay, bi, lesbian.
Sure.
So, and those are always deemed troubled because it doesn't match the mold that the parents want.
Yes.
So automatically, my kid is troubled. Your kid's not troubled. You just don't like their lifestyle.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with sucking a little bit of dick, okay? At the proper age, at the legal age. Okay?
But you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the point of those types of camps at first, was to convert.
Almost conversion, yeah.
Push out whatever they deemed unsanitary.
And in Utah?
Wasn't that Mormon?
I was going to say, funny that they, like, dislike the LGBTQIA, they put them, people in a place with more men, huh? The pun? Hello? I have nothing against Mormons or any person of faith. I just have a thing against people who like say they do one thing and they clearly promote another.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like, damn. Is transparency in the room with us? Maybe transparency is the friends we made along the way. I don't know. I don't know. So getting into this last bit, because I know y'all are probably tired of hearing us yell, but I don't give a fuck, bitch. Tune in, open the show notes, purchase the merch if you can. Do the free support shit. If you are interested in being a sponsorship for an episode, hit me up. Let's get into this last segment.
Okay.
Did you know that Turnabout Ranch, at the time of this recording, has a 1.7 rating on Google reviews?
The fact that they even have a 1.7 blows my mind.
Did you know you can read those reviews?
Ooh. Mm-hmm. And how did the reviews look there, Nino?
Oh, we'll get there in a second. Just one second.
Okay.
Just one second. Did you know that for some fucking reason it has the 3.0 on Yelp at the time of the recording?
Isn't it easier to remove the negative comments off of Google than it is on Yelp? Or is it the other way around?
Could be the other way around. I just tell it how it is.
That is insane. Although, do people really even go on Yelp anymore?
I do.
You do?
Yeah. Girl, I'm partnered with Yelp Phoenix. The fuck. So there are many reviews urging parents who have a troubled teen to look at other spaces and places to go.
Right.
One particular review was about a participant who grew up to become a social worker and quite literally says, and I quote, "I beg that you do not send your children here."
I mean,
I
God.
was so invested into these reviews, but like the other thing you got to realize is a lot of the reviews were also people who were like, I saw this on Dr. Phil.
Oh,
I'm just giving it a 1-star rating. And I was like,
that's
okay,
not helpful.
that's not helpful to the data. Hello.
Mm-mm.
We're going off of experiences. Listen, lived experiences are factual. Sometimes
Yes.
our feelings by proxy are not the same thing. Okay? Dear sensitive culture, that's for you. Just because someone experiences something and it's real to them and you hear about it by proxy, that's not your experience.
No.
Okay? Great. Thanks for coming. A director at the time who was named Max, which is why I was like, this is funny that there's a series about this on Max, but it's forever going to be HBO Max. I don't fucking care why it's called Max. It's HBO Max. He would allegedly take girls on a one-on-one and do like a walk and talk and caress their body while talking about their sexual activity.
The
Fucking
way I
wild.
would soccer kick the shit out of somebody.
Uh-huh.
Like
Uh-huh.
I got power behind my legs. Like
No, yeah.
I have kicked quite a few people, men especially, and have
Mm-hmm.
been told, "Wow, that was surprising."
Yeah.
Like, no shit, Sherlock. I wasn't gonna just lightly graze you.
My favorite thing that I've ever seen a woman do to a man is in the movie Hostel 2, where she
Yes.
clips off his
Yes.
dick and feeds it to the dog.
Yes. I was like, love it.
I was like, that's feminism.
That is right there.
That is feminism. So that's what I would do. Like, I would just, I don't know. As we were growing up, I always taught my sister, I'm like, find a rock, find something, learn, like, keep your nails long enough to where you can scratch. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you want your DNA on them, their DNA on you. Like, you want it to be irrefutable. This person attacked you
Oh
and you
yeah,
defended
no.
yourself. Like, literally. And
I
that's not a tip, by the way. That's not a tip to people, but if like you take something away and that's that, then I can't
mm-hmm.
help you there.
No,
Freedom of
my dad
speech.
immediately started raising me how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "You're gonna defend." He's like, "You may not start the fight, but I will be damned if you don't
Oh,
finish
you
it."
gonna end it.
Oh yeah.
That's what I tell my sister is like, I don't care if you started. I don't give a fuck. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, if you started, it means someone pushed you enough.
Yeah.
And that's how I am too. Like, it's been a while since I've swung at someone because I usually just walk away. And again, going back to like being a brand, being
Mm-hmm.
a person of like social stature here in Arizona, So their IG page for Turnabout Ranch, which you can also go to, it's literally active, but it hasn't posted since 2023. Funny that they stopped posting on IG a year before the case with Hannah Archuleta was dismissed.
Oh.
Funny.
Mm.
Funny how they took down some of the pictures that have Danielle Bregoli in them.
Oh my.
And I
Oh
was like, you're not legally allowed to show faces of minors.
no.
You can show like the backs of their heads and stuff, but I
Yeah.
was like, you can't show faces of minors.
There's a lot of paperwork that's. Oh my god.
So, like, 2 points to make really quick before we wrap up. Do not go here.
Clearly.
Point 1. Do not go here at all ever. Send no one here at all ever, period.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fucking go here. We're going to do what? Say it with me. Not
No.
fucking go there. Okay, great. Thank you,
Yep.
audience. And also my second point.
Allegedly.
Thank you. And this is just for the specific Phil that we're talking about. Dr. Phil, CBS show guy. For Dr. Phil, it's funny how you allegedly, I mean, this is alluding, but you can't spell pedophile without Phil.
Jesus. Oh my god.
I will literally, like, if you have something in your brain that tells you that you need to do things to like little kids and teens, I want you to have a personal meet and greet with the devil.
Yeah.
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 So, final thoughts before we wrap up this lighthearted episode?
Oh my God. I
Yeah,
mean, I never liked the man to begin with, but like,
yeah. When you're
okay,
friends,
so I will say this: anyone Oprah ever promoted, I was always really leery about. Um, but the fact that we're so trusting of an individual who just because he has the degree doesn't mean he practices the degree.
hello.
And he did clearly stop practicing 10 years before sending her. Not only that,
Sending Danielle Bregoli.
he exploits people in their weakest forms. Because apparently when Britney Spears had one of her mentee
Moments.
bees
Yeah.
and she was in the hospital, he went and filmed it.
I think we're catching on. I think, like, if I'm being so honest, this is a call to all the millennials who are listening to our podcast. I think we're the generation that really is saying it ends with us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's no nod to Blake Lively and, you know, the Justin Baldoni thing, which team Justin all the fucking way. Like, no shade, but like,
here's the shade.
here's the fucking shade, okay? Nasty.
I'm just, I don't know. It's really
insane.
infuriating.
If you have to be so, oh god, the word I'm trying to find, intertwined in this shit. If you want to be a part of every fucking thing, if you want to film Britney Spears' chaotic episodes, if you're sending literal teenage minors,
Exploiting. It's
exploiting them,
exploitation.
exploiting families, and
Yes.
all of this shit, you're not a fucking doctor.
No, you're not being helpful. That's why I can't stand, and I know it's terrible, but I can't stand when people film like their good deeds for social media. I cannot get behind
Y'all
that.
will never catch me filming that shit. Do you know who will catch me doing that stuff? Me, the person, and Jesus.
Exactly.
That's it. Y'all
Yeah.
will never catch me doing a good deed. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, like, listen, I film what I film because there's a Nino Daniel element that is a content creator and that does what people like do and stuff like that. And I'm very rarely vulnerable online.
Mm-hmm.
Minus my like 9-year anniversary video that I posted where I'm crying, but that's like, shut, I'll beat you up. But if you have to be somebody who's so intertwined, you're literally just a doctor on TV. You're not a doctor, but you play one on TV.
Right.
Let me.
That's like going up to George Clooney when he was in ER for so long and being like, "Hey, can you diagnose me?"
No, the fuck. That's like going to a house and saying,
Right.
"You know what? What's wrong with me? I got something going on with my bile and my gallbladder and
Grey's Anatomy." Like, I can't. Was there ever any feedback post that with Danielle and her mom? Did her mom ever give any feedback? Like, or did her mom stay quiet?
Oh, let's actually go into the wrap up of that.
Okay.
I don't know. I cannot speak for her mom because I have not seen anything, so I don't know. What I have seen though is when that breaking coat silence thing happened, that's when Danielle spoke out. She had this like beautiful curly hair moment going on, and she literally said, "Dr. Phil, you have until this day
yes,
to
I remember
come clean." That's it. And then she did a podcast interview as well, which the podcast host was like, not like be engaged, but also like let her speak kind of thing.
Yeah.
She spoke about her experience and like nothing, I mean, not that I'm aware of, but like nothing that I'm aware of happened. I want to specify, I don't know if anything happened, but I'm personally not aware in the research that I've done to determine if something happened. Dr. Phil is still on the air. It's called Dr. Phil Primetime now.
Yeah.
And
is it on the Oprah channel?
So Dr. Phil, oh bitch, Dr. Phil ended its 21 season run on CBS in May 2023.
I bet he did.
The same year that Turnabout Ranch goes radio silent on social media.
Right before the decisions
a year before
made.
The dismissal of the Hannah Archuleta case. And then Merritt Street Media returned Dr. Phil to television in primetime with Dr. Phil in Primetime, and it airs at 8 p.m. Eastern. The network is based in Fort Worth, Texas. And Dr. Phil Primetime features include common sense advice based on research, science, and proven methods. Eat my ass. Practical information for everything, everyday life. suck my dick. Social issues approached from a psychological and social perspective.
Absolutely not.
Literally chomp my taint.
Mm-mm.
Like, interviews with headline newsmakers, suck dick. Like, filming in front of a live on Eat. So his name is Phil McGraw. And his like vision is to deliver essential news and entertainment, delivering common sense television. Okay, shut the fuck up. God. And then when you Google, is Dr. Phil a real doctor?
He holds a doctorate.
He's not a practicing doctor.
Right.
He is not a licensed therapist, and he is exempt from state and medical ethics. Dr. Phil is not a medical doctor because he did not attend medical school. Psychologists typically have doctorate degrees, but they are not medical doctors. Psychiatrists are medical doctors who can prescribe medication.
He stopped practicing the clinical psychology in 2006.
Yep. What a sack of literal garbage.
Exactly.
And you know what? So is Turnabout Ranch.
Yeah.
So, if there's anything I've learned today, do not try to catch bad baby outside.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
No.
Don't
try to catch me outside. Don't try to catch us outside.
Not at all.
I have a crossbow. It takes 80 pounds of muscular pressure to cock that thing back.
Have we named said crossbow? Does it have a pet name yet?
I have to fire it once more.
Okay.
It's got power to it, though, 400 feet per second.
Oh.
Y'all ain't running away. Not that I'm inviting this, but if you are someone who's listening and has proximity to someone who has attended Turnabout Ranch and maybe they're looking to share their story, get with us. We're always down to collaborate.
Yes.
Any last minute shout outs before we wrap up?
Shout out to my best friend's daughter who is kicking off her own podcast. Yes. Hello, Mia. Shout out to my daughter and my niece because I'm sure they're listening to this episode.
Yeah.
And it's not a shout out, but fuck Dr. Phil. Like, seriously.
And not the way that not the way that's good. Not the good way, babes.
No. He's an eat the rich kind of drag him outside.
Yeah. Oh my god. I want to give a shout out to my friends Seth, Doug, and Nick, who at the time of the recording are at the South by Southwest Film and TV Festival. Big shout out to you boys and your teams for getting your press passes and doing great work. Shout out to the fact that tomorrow I celebrate 9 years at the time of this recording on what day is it today? March 8th. At the time of this recording on March 8th, tomorrow I celebrate my 9-year anniversary dance class. So Yay. Shout out to the fact that I've been a dance instructor, choreographer, an award-winning choreographer for almost a decade.
There you
Bitches. Bitches. And listen, it's about that time, folks. I know. We know you don't want to leave. Oh, we know you don't want to leave. But since you have to go, I'm so sorry. You might as well creep out. Bye.
Bye.